how you, after the travels, you look at the map, of persecutions, you look at the word watch list, and does it change your perspective when you were there in those countries? You spoke to people. Does it influence you somehow?
It does, but it's very different from frankly from trip to trip and country to country. I have been blessed. I have made literally hundreds of trips for Open Doors, so I've seen a lot. Sometimes you can relatively easy cope with the situation because you're not going in there as an outsider. You're trying to help people, and the help is real, which is giving me a big joy. And sometimes you're just blown away by the level of violence and hatred against Christians, and then it is really affecting you. I mean, to give you an example, two examples actually. One example is going back a long time when I had to go to the country of Colombia, and my assignment at that trip was to visit widows of families whose husband had been killed in the past 6 months. And there were so many casualties. I mean, you were having a meeting, you were trying to understand what's going on, you were trying to pray for the family, and then my local colleague was looking at the watch and said, "Brother, we have to move on, there are more families." And when I got back and I reported to the headquarters Open Doors in a prayer meeting, all of a sudden I broke down in tears. Had never happened to me before, and frankly it took me a full year to be able to talk about this trip without not going to cry. And I remember more recently with Islamic State in Syria and Iraq, these stories about what was happening to Christian believers and also to the cities were so horrendous that when I would get the reports on my laptop here on my computer in the Netherlands, sometimes I waited a week before actually opening up the report because it was so tough to read about the atrocities over there.